Reddit.
How stupid Reddit goddamn is. And I think the Hermetic principles
are conspiracy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, did you guys know it's conspiratorial to tell people that there's polarity in nature? Yeah, real conspiratorial.
Yep.
Just very that shit down.
Welcome back to another episode of Psycosmos. Today, we're continuing the Secrets of the Universe series with our good buddy Richard. And we're going to be discussing the fourth Hermetic principle, which is the concept of polarity or duality. So, Richard, why don't you fill us in on the Hermetic principle of polarity?
Polarity really has to do with one of the general principles of nature, which is that everything exists and is given definition and depth to that definition by its opposite. And that you need these opposites to fully understand the other one. So for everything, it has its opposite. There's hot, there's cold, there's life, there's death, there's light, there's darkness.
The yin yang.
Everything under the sun. Yin yang is one of the best examples
of nature, if you will.
And it's one of these things where, on the surface, it sounds very obvious, and it's largely because we hear these sorts of things a lot, and we've heard it a lot back in our genetic memory for like 1,000+ years now. And it sounds very obvious and intuitive, but with Hermeticism, it really gets to what that really means and how incredible it is that polarity exists everywhere in nature, and that you need the opposite to understand the thing. So if there was no cold, it would be very difficult to conceive of hot because you would have nothing to put it in relation to. And the same thing goes for light or darkness. If you only knew darkness, you literally wouldn't know what light was. So darkness kind of doesn't really have the same meaning. It doesn't have the same resonance
or impact
with your psyche and how you understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And to touch on that, one of the most important scientific factors of the concept of polarity and duality. I could go for something easy like the magnetic poles of the planet being north and south, and how without those poles we probably wouldn't have an ozone layer. We definitely would not have an ozone layer. We wouldn't have cycles. We probably wouldn't have seasons. The Earth wouldn't spin the way that it does now. But actually, more importantly and more macrocosmically, if we want to zoom out a little bit here, it's the scientific principle, the theory of the electromagnetic universe theory, which talks about how there are basically two encompassing factors that embody the entire universe. One of them is electricity, or could also be seen as light, and the other one is magnetism, or could also be seen as gravity, in kind of a very nutshell, simplistic term. A lot of the time when we look at heroes and stories, you'll see that there's always a hero and a villain, and many ancient cultures, going back to even Atlantean, Egyptian, Babylonian, Sumerian, Chaldean, and Judeo-Christian as well, the sun and Saturn have always been these two deriving forces planetarily that have kind of encapsulated our solar system and allows us to live the life that we normally do. The sun being an electric force and the planet Saturn being the magnetic force, which keeps everything in balance or in check. Just as a preface, if you like The Lord of the Rings, Saturn, or Sauron, is the Lord of the Rings. He is the planetary body that moves the longest around our solar system, and he's the furthest planet away that we can see from our night sky without the use of technology like a telescope. Overall, these two concepts, electricity and magnetism, encapsulate everything, including in your own human body as well. I mean, you're magnetically stuck to the Earth, or else you'd probably float away, and electricity runs all throughout your body, or synaptic neurons and things like that. Neurons communicate through light particles and electricity in order to communicate. So
it also just goes with the very duality of the nature of everything in existence, where you have matter, whatever the hell that's made out of, and motion, and those two things are the two things that constitute the appearance and the sensation of everything in your physical universe.
Yes.
Those two things. So it even relates back to the previous one, vibration.
Yeah, as well as vibration. And for more, you can either listen to lectures by Manly P. Hall, or you can listen to lectures by Alan Watts. Alan Watts will talk a lot about the concept of order and chaos, which I think is where Jordan Peterson gets a lot of his work from. Jordan Peterson's also another great example if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff too.
You can also check out Walter Russell. He talks a lot about motion and about how largely matter, if there's a way of thinking about matter where it's something of an illusionary state that's just an effect of motion.
Yes.
So something vibrating at a certain rate, just a million times over, is what produces the appearance of an actual thing or an object.
Right. That duality and polarity is encapsulating of everything in the universe. Nothing can exist without its polar opposite,
including gender. But wait a minute, that's next on the list.
That's right. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment and subscribe, like the video, and tell us what you think about this series down below. We're going to be getting into the next video, which is based on gender. We're not going to be getting political on this one, but we are going to be talking about the concepts of gender and why they are important as well. So stay tuned for that, and once again, thanks for watching. Take care.